Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's become.
Lane, Oladipo, oh! That's right, you better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down, he goes with it. Adebayo for the win!
Yeah! Welcome to the 5 Reasons Sports Post-Game Show, a.k.a. the Post-Up on 5R, the first after the All-Star break. Bing, bong, bitches. I am joined this afternoon, this night, this evening by my man, Gadiel Cartagena, and two members of the Kane Gang, my boys Kendall and my man, Brian. How's everybody doing tonight? How you get? Pretty good week of rest for everyone? Everybody feeling good and all that?
Listen, I'm rested up. My RPM is high. My heart is full. I'm ready to go.
Gad, you're a menace.
Some nerve of you to go first when it's still February. But nonetheless, yeah, you know, their boy is feeling good. I mean, you know, we got a W and I can get slander off. That's a win-win situation.
So, Brian?
I'm doing great, bro. How you doing, Royal?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I got 2 jobs now. So that means more money. But other than that, you know what I mean? Kids still kicking my ass. It is what it is. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about the Miami Heat beating the shit out of the New York Knicks. That's not really what happened, but we're going to talk about what really happened. But before we do that, thank you, Voodoo Visions, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, or RJ dropped 46 with the L. Knicks culture. Knicks tape, bitches. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially the story of their team. RJ Barrett went ape shit, and they still got beat. But we're going to start with you, Gadiel Cartagena. I'm letting him go first again. No, we not starting with you. Brian, we start with you. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Oh, man. You know, I actually really liked tonight's game, despite the first, 4 minutes of nothing on offense. Like, man, I feel like this game kind of showed the layers that this team has. Like, even if the starting unit doesn't have it, you bring your bench in, and you still drop 30 in a quarter. A lot of that due to Tyler Hero, which, you know, I felt his presence was missed in his previous few games. You know, you saw the offense stall. And in the back of my head, I'm kind of thinking, like, if you have Hero, that's not a problem. And this game kind of showed that, right? Like, man, this team is able to be effective in so many areas, not just offensively, but defensively. Outside of RJ Barrett, who did shit for the Knicks? Nobody, right?
Robinson did.
Mr. Robinson?
Mr.
No,
Robinson?
the other one.
No.
The other
Yeah.
Robinson on the floor.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Well,
Come on now. That RPM is high, baby. It's all the way up there.
Yeah, I agree. But nah, I say whatever you want about the Knicks, right? But again, I think this game shows just how good this team is, how versatile they are, like what they can do. Even Kyle Lowry, I know we're probably going to talk about him later, but you know the fact that he turned it up tonight, like, man, I'm seeing some really, really good things from this team, and I feel like it's the beginning of that second half push that they're going to make. We see it every year from Heat teams, right? And I think this is going to be the beginning of them starting to roll into the playoffs.
So I think you made a really good point in there when you were talking about how the bench kind of lifted this team up when the starters didn't start the game out so high. The Knicks got off 10 points out the gate without us even pitching them holes. But we kind of found our way back into it. But the bench is really when the team started to take off, when that unit came in. Kendall, what were your thoughts on the game, bro?
Bing bong. Fuck them Knicks, them bozos, and that dusty ass arena that they call Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of basketball. My ass shit was built off of other players coming in and making historic performances, and I love when we bust their ass. But for tonight, I mean, it was a Heat type win. Even when we were struggling to score, I just never felt like, damn, like it is one of them nights because it's the Knicks, and I just felt like, you know, at some point we was gonna get right. I didn't think that it was gonna be like the bench mob doing it, but you know, they got us right on offense. And I really like what I saw from some individual players. I'll speak on that when we get into it because you know they definitely did some things that I mentioned during Clutch Corner this weekend. So to see that come to fruition and it result in a win like that, very, very pleasing.
Kendall was Nostradamus-like on that Clutch Corner episode. Gadiel Cartagena, your thoughts on the game, my man?
I was happy with the way the game was played. It was an ugly start. I know Kendall was the first person to touch upon it, and like just getting the Duncan Robinson getting involved way too early. Like the start of this game, it was Duncan missed 3, Julius Randle scores. Julius Randle missed 3, Duncan Robinson missed 3, Duncan Robinson foul. Like it just like the offense stagnates a little bit when it's so like it's just boom or bust. But I think you can kind of just – my only critique that I'll get out of the way is just get away from that. I know we talked about it on the halftime spaces. Kind of just run your offense earlier. Like, put the ball in Kyle Lowry's hands from the jump. I just want to see that. But Kyle Lowry, man, that's one thing that I want to talk about. 9 free throw attempts. I didn't check for the last 3 minutes. But Kyle Lowry's looking a lot better offensively, whether it's just hitting his threes or it's getting to the rim a little bit more. I felt like he was able to control the pace. He was able to get inside, outside, whenever he wanted to tonight. And we've kind of been saying, like, yes, Kyle Lowry's playing good, but we're going to need more come playoff time. And Kyle Lowry, like, very quietly since coming back from that absence, he's looking a lot better offensively. So that's just one development that's really good. Didn't need a huge game from Jimmy. Didn't need a huge game from Bam. And a lot of that is due to Tyler Hero. I'd imagine we'll get to his performance in a little bit. It was a good win. Like, this is a team that, honestly, it took a crazy, crazy performance from one of their players for this game to be close. And the Heat did not even play that well, in my opinion. Like, we missed a lot of free throws. We weren't playing perfectly up and down the roster. And they still got it done. This is a really good team. Just get another one tomorrow.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Jimmy first because I feel like his game was kind of enigmatic in a sense where it was good, but it didn't always feel good. Like that third quarter was pretty hard to watch where it seemed like he was trying to combat what RJ Barrett was doing. RJ Barrett was bombing threes and Jimmy Butler was taking it to him on the other end. And we got some good looks out of it, some good offense to come out of it. But it felt like nobody else was getting involved at that point. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical, but we'll go in reverse order. Gad, what were you saying from Jimmy tonight?
Yeah, no, it definitely felt he just looked slow to start the game. Like it looked like he was coming back from an All-Star break where he was doing God knows what for the last 3 or 4 days that he wasn't in Cleveland. But yeah, Jimmy, he kind of always starts slow, I feel like, and then he picks his spots later on in the game. So it was just nice to see him have those moments later on in the game where he was actually playing well. But I think he'll be totally fine, just kind of getting his rhythm back. First game after the All-Star break. This is a team that kind of does have good rim protection for whatever it's worth. Like, they have Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle, as bad as he may be, is someone who's really strong, kind of deter people from getting to where they want to go. So I'm not too worried with Jimmy. I want to see the mid-range fall more. I don't want to see him shoot many threes, but he's fine. He's going to be all right. I like that we put the ball in Kyle's hands more.
Yeah. I think particularly it was only that third quarter. Like it just felt like the offense was give the ball to Jimmy every possession, let him ISO on RJ. But Kendall, what did you see from Jimmy tonight?
It was definitely like if you look at the box score, you would think he played well, but I didn't feel like he played well. Like Gaz said, like he came out slow to him, but to me, he honestly looked disinterested. Like in that first quarter, it didn't like that was honestly the first time I can remember. Like I was like, damn, Jimmy just the fucking like energy is not there, like at all. And then we had a 10-point lead going into halftime, so like the team did its thing, and it's like, yeah, as the lead dog is like you want to see more from him, especially coming out of All-Star break, going down this last stretch. But the way that they did it, it definitely didn't feel right in that third quarter. It was like 4 or 5 possessions in a row, like where they just like ISO Jimmy in the post, and it was just like, yeah. We do that from like 1 to 2, 2 out of every 4 possessions, but never like 4 in a row. Like maybe it was just like crazy.
And everybody on the other side of the floor just
exactly. Everybody was legit. Once they got it to him in the post, it was like, all right, we all gonna rotate to the other side. It was like, what the hell are we doing? Bam was like in the dunker spot on the opposite side, and then everybody else was just standing outside the 3-point line. So it definitely felt like. It felt very weird. Like there was no playmaking from Jimmy tonight, but I mean, at the end of the day, like his guys picked him up, so it's like you can't complain with the result. But for him, it definitely was an off game.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I think Kendall used a good word to describe it. It did look like Jimmy was disinterested, and I'm not super worried about it. Like I feel like you get Jimmy Butler coming off an All-Star break, he's vacationing, he's coming back to play the Knicks. he probably doesn't give a fuck about this game, for being completely honest. Like, you know, so, you know, everybody else I feel like had a pretty good game. He had that stretch in the third. I'm not worried about it, but to you guys' point, the ISO plays, it looks ugly. Like when that shot isn't falling and, you know, he's missing on essentially a waste of possessions. It's a little concerning. You probably want the offensive flow a little bit better than that, but it's whatever. Jimmy's usually fantastic, so I'm not tripping over it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rico. Jimmy knew the game was over before it started. I think this is an interesting question. Why so little Jimmy pick and roll? I think it's because they both occupy the same space to score, which is the paint in that situation. Like
3 years, I'm beginning to accept it. Like that, them playing off of each other is never gonna happen.
Not gonna happen well. Like
it's not gonna happen well.
Yeah, let's talk about that some because I think Bam's game is another one that just kind of like Kendall was saying about Jimmy's game. The box score doesn't quite tell the story. Bam ended the game with 16, and 4 blocks, but there was a lot of this game where I just did not notice Bam being on the floor at all. Like, of course, defensively, but on offense, maybe it was partially because of the Jimmy pounding the rock on the other side of the floor. Maybe it's because guys weren't looking for him. I don't know what it was, but Brian, I'm going to start with you this time. Tell me what you thought it was with Bam's game tonight.
Because there's something we see from Bam like all the time. You know, like defensively, he looked great. I thought he was part of the reason that nobody outside of RJ Barrett had a decent game. But
he's the best defender in the NBA.
Yeah,
by far. Well, not by far.
Yeah. It's no.
It's a pretty sizable margin between him and the next person. Who do you say is the second best defender?
I would say Draymond is the second guy, and then there's a tier break from there.
Yeah,
I respect the hell out of Draymond.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, sure. But I respect Draymond too. But I don't know. Like
on the wing, I don't think Draymond would be the same. Like if we,
right.
I don't think on the wing compared to Bam, like Draymond is like that. Like Bam put everybody in hell.
I do think Draymond is like better at playing passing lanes though. So like it's like kind of a balance. I'm taking Bam though. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking Bam.
Yeah, sure. It's I don't know. It's a very slight edge. I don't know. I like Bam by a lot over Draymond because of that wing component that Kim was talking about. But Draymond is such a smart defender, bro. Like, it's hard to ignore that. But before we get back to what Brian was saying, I want to thank Nunu Braxton for the $5 dono. He said it was one of those gritty games that you needed to dig deep and get the dub. # Big Heat. Sure. I mean, I appreciate that we got the dub. Like, I'll take a win any way that they come. And these are the type of games that you're going to have to power through in the playoffs. You just rather not be against a sorry-ass team like the Knicks. But, Brian, you was going off about Bam. I'm sorry that I cut you off. Go ahead and finish.
No, I mean, either way, to you guys' points, I mean, Bam is at worst the second best defender in the NBA. So yeah, that impact on that end is always going to be felt. But yeah, I feel like that's normal from Bam to just kind of float offensively, and I think part of it is just his deferential nature. Like, he's cool with just letting other guys do their thing. He's cool with trying to get other guys involved, and then it's the Jimmy component where they occupy a lot of the same spaces on the floor. So, you know, if the ball is finding Jimmy, that's a possession that Bam is probably not going to be involved in. And I think we talked about how if we want to see this team, you know, excel in the playoffs, Bam has to be a factor offensively, right? But I guess for tonight, you know, after a week off, Hero comes back. That's dynamic I wanted to see because I feel like Bam has a tendency to be even more like, you know, passive when he shares the court with Hero. And for good reason. Like tonight, Tyler was really, really good. But that's something that he needs to figure out going forward. Like, you can't have him taking, you know, 10 shots a game, right? Like, that number needs to be close, like at least 15. But it's nothing new from Bam. As long as he has an impact on the floor, like everywhere else, I'm cool with it. But I want to see more.
Yeah, that's interesting that you talk because we've been talking about the dynamic between Bam and Tyler with them playing on the floor, and there was one instance where Tyler did get Bam a lob, which he can do. Like, I don't know if he can do it. Tyler is a menace with lobs, but it's like
that boy is a assassin when it comes to lobs. Not in a good way.
He be trying to fuck people up, bro. Like, I don't know what he be got.
But like criminal offenses.
Boy got called out by the Knuckleheads podcast to not throw UD lobs. So,
bro, he tried to kill OG, bro. But the opportunities are there. Is what the point is. I don't know, bro, but you're right. Like, Tyler Hero, that boy was good tonight. But we want to focus on Bam. Kendall, where were you on Bam tonight, bro?
I'm legit like in the middle of satisfied and being like, damn, bro, like because I already done said when Tyler was out, I was like, I'm like Bam is not gonna make me a liar. Like he's not gonna continue this aggressiveness. And then on Clutch Corner, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I even called out Tyler Hero. Like what I wanted to see from him was to get Bam the ball in spots to score. And his first 2 offensive plays, he got him a free throw line jumper, which Bam missed, which I expected because he missed them 2 first free throws, and then he got him the lob. So I was like, all right, Tyler, I like where your game. I like where you at. You know what I'm saying? And then Bam picked it up in the second half. He had like 8 shot attempts. I think he was like second on the team through like 2 quarters. And then the third quarter came and he was in the mix with the whole Jimmy slow, like Jimmy ISO thing where it's just like, in my mind, when Jimmy touches the ball, like I don't think Bam is going to get it in a position to score. Like,
I think Bam thinks the same thing.
Yeah, like legit. Like I don't think like once Jimmy gets that ball, like Bam, the only way he's getting the ball off a Jimmy shot, like or off a Jimmy aggressiveness driving to the rim, is if he puts it up and it's a miss and it's an offensive rebound to score. So I can't really slander Bam just due to the fact that like the man he was rebounding the shit out of the ball like early on. He was a dog on them boards. And I mean Mitchell Robinson, like with that size and length, that ain't something to just be like, well, that's his job. Like, so that means he dug down. And then I mean, for him to give us 4 blocks, like he made up for it in other ways. So it's just like, boy, you duck slander tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't get at you for not shooting because it's like we don't get no 4 block games, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's a tip of the hat to him. I mean, defensively, he always gonna make an impact. RJ did his thing against everybody else, like, but for some reason it was like easy for him to avoid Bam. Like it's like whoever they didn't send no Mitchell Robinson screens or any big screens like to switch because Bam would have locked that shit up. So you know, I'm honestly satisfied with his game because he was a dog on the boards. Like you get close to 20 boards and 4 blocks, like I ain't gonna complain.
No, for sure. We want to thank Just Incredible Media for the $2 dono. He said, the whole time you was talking, I was looking at this motherfucker's name trying to figure out how to read that shit. Like, bro, I was like, why are there numbers in this shit? And yeah, but Just Incredible Media, I got that bit though. He said, Jits don't look for Bam off the screen. I think to Kendall's point, though, yeah, that's been a lot of it. But to Kendall's point, though, like when Jimmy has the ball, there's no point for Bam to roll because he's not going to get it anyway.
Not going to get it.
A lot of times when you see Bam scream for Jimmy, you see him kind of like float a little bit because Jimmy going in there to shoot the shit. But yeah, I think I don't want to take up all the points before you get an opportunity to get in here and be aggressive. Speaking of which, we want to thank the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Postgame Show, and that is A Aggressive Insurance. Thank you, Miss Lynette, for your patronage. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm also pulling double duty as the producer today, so I got to find this damn graphic, and I have not found it yet. But either way, I already know it by heart. If you have any insurance needs, please visit A Aggressive Insurance or www.insurancebylynette.com or give her a phone call at 954-581-8800 to handle any of that. Yeah, Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, I was happy with the way Bam played. I thought defensively he was the best defender on the planet, which nothing really new for Bam. Offensively, I think the lack of raw field goal attempt totals. There we go. Thank you, Miss Lynette. The lack of like raw field goal attempt totals, like he had 10, right? And in theory, you look at that, you look at the box score, you're like, oh damn, Bam didn't really have that aggressive of a game, which he didn't. Like he was kind of just floating, like you guys pointed out. But I think I like the fact that he was able to get to the free throw line, 8 free throw attempts. That's good. Like, if you're going to have one of those low free throw attempt games, I want it to be because you were getting to the line as well. Ultimately, 16 points tonight. I'm not going to complain, especially on a night where I get mad when he's deferring to guys like Duncan, Strus, Gabe, Caleb, Dedmon, whoever it may be, when those guys have a lot of shot attempts, right? But when it's going to be Kyle, Tyler, and Jimmy, I think that's just the natural dynamic that one of those players is not going to have that many shot attempts. So, I mean, in total, these guys, I mean, Jimmy took 20. Tyler took 18. Kyle took 11, but he had 9 free throws. Bam took 10, but he had 8 free throws. So, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, if this is the game that Bam is going to have when he's just floating, totally fine with it. I won't complain about this one bit. There's going to be some games where you're going to want to see more. But tonight wasn't one of those nights. Hero had it going. Jimmy found a way to get it going. Kyle had it going. I'm not going to complain about that. What Kendall pointed out, though, the Jimmy and Bam dynamic, that is That is key. And someone in the comments asked, like, who do you think has to adjust more? I think it has to be Bam, because as Jimmy, he's not going to change his game. He's not going to add any facets to a game at this point. He's not going to turn into a great off-ball player, like an off-ball shooter. Bam has to become a pick-and-pop big in order for it to really, really fit, because Jimmy thrives with a pick-and-pop big. Like, you can slander all these players all you want, but he's good with Dedmon. He's good with Kelly Olynyk. He was good with Myers Leonard, too. Like, that's just how Jimmy is. That's how he plays. If you can get him a big that can shoot above the break threes, it makes a huge difference for both players involved. So that's the next step. Don't think that's going to happen this year, but I'm totally fine with it as of right now. I don't need to see this aggression from Bam all the time. I just need to see it in spurts. I need to know that it's there. I need to know we can go to it if teams are begging us to do so come playoff time the way Milwaukee did last year. So it's still a question mark, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the way Bam's playing.
I think that's the right take for everybody to have. Like, it's kind of like it's a measured approach. It's like, of course, you want to see more from one of your star players, but when everybody else has it going, like, there's no reason to want to see more, and he's doing an excellent job of holding it down on the other end. Kendall, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Gab mentioned like adding something. I want to see. And he also mentioned, he gave the breakdown for like 3-4 possessions of how it was Duncan centric, and then Randall on the opposite end. I want to see, they ran like this very nice post up play for Bam, and he got a jump hook and one foul
On Mitchell Robinson.
Yes, on Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
with his left hand. And I said to myself, why don't they run that in the beginning of the game And
they run a duck or dribble handoff.
You know what I'm saying? And they running handoffs on the wing. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why the fuck do they not run that during the game? Like, to open up, to set Bam's mindset to like be aggressive. Because it's like, I kind of understand how you get into the flow of like being a screen servant. Like, but I mean, I'm kind of calling out Spo on this one. Like, run sets to get run sets to get Bam the balls where he has no choice but to score. It's like they swung it. He came around. Kyle got it to him and got out the way, and he had no choice but to go. Like,
hold on, wait, y'all gonna keep going back and forth, and Brian's just gonna sit there and keep being polite, and I got a dono to read. Nunu Braxton, thank you for the $5 dono. He said, I'll trade Duncan for Zion's knees at this point.
His knees are fine. It's the foot.
Yeah.
Man.
It's the foot. I'll trade him for the foot too. I'll take the foot.
It's the New Orleans. That's my last screensaver. But Gad, I do want you to kind of get your point in about Bam before I move on to the next player.
Yeah, no, and the way that I think has worked in the past in terms of what Kendall's saying, like run actions to get Bam going. Like, we know Bam, when he has help defense coming towards him, it's maybe not the best thing because he is prone to turning the ball over. He's not that great dribbling and driving to the rim. But one place that this dude excels, and we've seen it time and time again, we just don't see it enough because it's just the Heat just don't operate with this type of offense, is when you get Bam on the baseline and he gets a face up on the baseline, he can take dudes off the dribble, he can hit a little step back or a little fadeaway jumper, or he can get himself to a post up like Kendall said and be able to go from there. So,
or he could jab, step, and spin on Giannis Antetokounmpo from down there.
Yeah, but we're asking for too much. He did that once. Never gonna happen
I've seen
again.
him do it, though.
Never gonna happen again.
My eyes have seen it, Gad. I know he can do it.
I wish that is one place where I really, really wish you could try to get Bam involved, and that's a scenario where Jimmy can learn how to play off ball because help defense cannot keep Jimmy from cutting to the basket in that scenario. And if they do, you will have a shooter open and Bam can find them. That's one facet of his game that since last year I've been wishing they would explore. Explore what Bam can do on the baseline. I don't give a shit what the analytics say. It's bad shot, whatever it may be, bad points per possession. I don't care. You're going to need something like that in the playoffs. I would love to see them try it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Jason Adebawale, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said Spo is infinitely smarter than us, but if we can all see this, why doesn't Spo see it? He's not even telling Bam to work on his pick and pop game. I don't think it's that Spo doesn't see it. Spo sees opportunities in everything, but Spo's job is not to coach one player. His job is to coach a franchise, a team. So Spo, as long as the team is working, Spo's not going to complain about what one player isn't doing well at the moment. He believes they can. We focus on one game. Spo focuses on the bigger picture. Brian, I want to talk about Tyler Hero, who, in my eyes, was probably our best player tonight. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all know I don't get on here and praise Tyler much, but it wasn't much to criticize about his game tonight. Boy was hooping. And so what did you see from Tyler tonight, bro?
No, I thought Tyler was great. I mean, tonight kind of showed again why he is this team's best three level scorer, and he is invaluable to this offense. We've seen time and time again when he's not there, there's a lot of moments where the offense stalls, and everybody's kind of like, who's going to get a bucket? When you have Tyler, that's never a problem. Like, that guy is ignitable in ways that is definitely going to lead him to be the sixth man of the year. Like, it's not even a –
It's not a competition.
Yeah, it's not a competition, not a conversation. Anybody who wants to bring up Kevin Love or whoever else, it's not close. Like, that dude has been great. And he's been making – it's not just the amount that he's scoring, it's the way that he's scoring. He's hitting tough shots, right? Like, he's hitting tough shots, hitting spot ups. You know, he's made some sneaky athletic plays at the rim, even though he's also prone to get blocked there. But I'm not trying to shit on him tonight. Like, he was great. And they're gonna need that. They're gonna need Tyler to be great. So shout out to him, man. He really has taken his game up all the love from last year. And tonight he definitely was probably their best player.
Yes. I want to address Gadiel Cartagena right quick, because at one point in time, Gadiel Cartagena told me that I could not compliment Tyler Hero without there being a backhanded, like, something added to it. And I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I believe my initial soliloquy on Tyler Hero was sincere and without any form of malice or slander in it.
Okay. I respect that. I appreciate that.
It'll never happen again. Goddamn. I just want to put it out there. I got a few things I can complain about, but I won't. Like, there's no need. Like the fact that he was getting hunted by RJ Barrett repeatedly.
Everybody was.
No, not everybody. All the white people were.
Yeah,
Every time
and Gabe.
Okay, Gabe
was killing Gabe.
Yeah,
Jimmy a couple of times. I mean,
but he was posting. He was calling for Tyler and Duckett on that wing every time, just to pull up a three. It wasn't sustainable. I didn't think so, but he made it through. Fuck it. We talk about Tyler Hero. Yeah, talk about Tyler Hero's game tonight, bro.
I really like what Tyler Hero's been able to do. Like, we kind of harp on it time and time again, right? Like, this team, the offense is not going to look pretty without Tyler Hero. That's just the way that this team works. He's the tough shot maker. He's one of the guys that can even create a shot. He's one of the guys that can create a tough shot. Like, a lot of these guys, they can't even do it without getting blocked half the time. There's very few players that can do that. So I like what Tyler's been able to do, and I also like he's not afraid of at least trying at the rim. Like, Mitchell Robinson's a really good rim protector, and Tyler Hero, for better or for worse, he was going to the rim and he was getting attempts off. I think he probably hit like 2 layups and missed 2. But that's fine. That's totally fine. I will take that as long as you're being able to break down the defense a little bit. He still needs a screen to kind of create a lot of separation, but I don't care about that much if you can capitalize on whatever separation you get after the screen. Like, not everyone's going to be a great ISO player. So that's totally fine with me. What he brings to this team is going to be huge. I think he's going to end up being a guy that starts in the playoffs. I know Marco Romo, who hosts Paces and Spaces, always been touching on that. Like, Tyler Hero starting makes a lot of sense come playoff time. I don't want to, like, rehash that debate or anything because it's not important at all. I don't care if he does. But he just adds a lot to this offense, man. Like, he's going to have to be our Goran Dragic come playoff time. He might have to have a few series where he leads us in scoring. Whether that works out or not, that's probably the reality of the situation.
Yeah, so by all accounts, I do think it's something that we're going to have to relitigate in terms of Tyler Hero starting, because combined tonight, Duncan Robinson and Max Strus got 21 minutes. If you start Tyler Hero, you can essentially take both of them out of the rotation and 5 minutes for other guys, i.e. Victor Oladipo, who may be back in the middle of next month. Like, so there is sense to be made of starting Tyler Hero and giving that 6-man role exclusively to somebody like Vic if he shows promise in that regard. But we can do that on another day. You know what I mean? Right now, we're talking about the greatness
tomorrow.
Right. Let's talk about Tyler. Let's talk about Tyler Hero, Kendall. What you saw from the Great White Hope tonight?
Who? No. I mean, I saw a great game from Tyler. I mean, especially offensively. In the first half, he was definitely getting cooked by RJ Barrett. He was Canadian bacon out there to that boy. But I mean, you know, the boy responded. I mean, the man put up 25, you know what I'm saying? And It was a great game. I cannot complain. He did what I asked for. Like I called him out on the clutch corner. I wanted to see something else from his game. Like when a motherfucker do something that I like call him out for, you know what I'm saying? I just give him a salute.
You gotta take that. Like you
know what I'm saying? I can't hate on that. You know what I'm saying? You know that boy did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think he was like the best player. Tonight I give him a little bit. He had the edge as the best player. And even, I mean, that boy was even active on defense a little bit. I think he got like 3 steals, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, you know, I can't. It's a salute. I mean, even in one possession, you know, RJ tried to post him up and the boy held his own and made him get it up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, ain't no hate. And in terms, it's not a debate for me. Y'all know I've been the number one Duncan hater, and I will continue to hold down that spot with much pride and joy. Get him. I don't give a fuck. Put Tyler in the starting 5 for all I care. As soon as Victor get back, I don't care, bro, because it's like the kid good. You know what I'm saying?
Give Victor his own lineup. It's not the worst idea if he looks
you know
like
what I'm
himself.
saying? Exactly, because it's like how I feel about. Maybe we might get into him. How I feel about Gabe Vincent at this point. That boy been too solid.
I think him out.
He about 8.5 toes down at this point. Like I'm not finna hate on Gabe. Like so, if
I don't care how Gabe shoots, Gabe knows how to play basketball.
Exactly. So if it means Tyler got to go in the starting 5 to keep Gabe minutes there, you know what I'm saying? Start Tyler. I'm with it. I don't care.
So listen, I know if this happens, then we're never going to hit the end of it because we laughed at Threat when he said take Duncan out of the playoff rotation. So if that comes out to be the case,
he did say that shit.
He said it, bro. And we talking about
oh my gosh.
But bro, if that happens, which seems more and more realistic because Spo is limiting Duncan Robinson's minutes.
But like we can counter it. We can counter Threat point by saying that boy was top tier Gabe Vincent hater. Like I wasn't a believer either, but that boy was top tier when it came.
If that happens, if this scenario happens where Duncan's out of the rotation and Gabe is in the rotation, I will fire up my Game Boy Advance and I'm gonna send him some text through the Poke Portal like crazy. You have no idea. And I'm gonna hit A-B until Threat blocks me on Game Boy. I swear to God. And I will be so happy about it.
Cancel culture in the 90s. I love to hear it. Thank you, Jason Adewale, for the $9.99. Don't know. He said it's the regular season, so I don't really care. But in the playoffs, if Spo leaves Duncan and Tyler to continually get cooked over and over again like the bubble finals, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Jason, I think to your point, he's only gonna leave one of them out there to do that. And that one has already been established as to who that will be. Like, he's not going to throw Duncan out there to get cooked repeatedly. They're not going to get the same leash. Strus won't see the floor. Like, it's becoming more and more obvious how this rotation is. Like, at one point, we thought Strus would be the guy taking over that kind of like fringe spot or whatever. Strus is out of the rotation come playoff time, and that's becoming more obvious. You see Spo trimming it down. I want to talk about Omer here at 7 because I thought his minutes were good. Like, I thought his minutes were really good. Like, I know I should be talking about Kyle Lowry because he was also really good. But, I mean, I don't know. Omer's game just kind of sticks out to me a little bit. Brian, let's come to you, bro. You've been patiently waiting for a chance to explode on the mic. Go ahead. Come on, man. Listen, you catching the bar still? Don't do that to these folks out here, my boy.
Nah, he's a solid big. Like, I still don't think Omer Year 7 is that good of an NBA player, but if you need a guy to do 7-foot tall person things, like Omer is your guy. I don't know why he's blitzing pick and rolls. I mean, I guess it's a thing, but I don't know. Like, I think Omer is fine. I don't want to shit on Omer. Like, I don't know what my baseline for Omer is. Like, don't be a catastrophe. Like, he's a pretty good rebounder. He's a shit defender. He has a little jump hook. And, yeah, he's all right.
That boy soul searching for something. He said, when you say I don't want to shit on somebody mid, like, soliloquy, that's when you know you soul searching for some shit.
When it came out the gate, Omer is not a good player. For real.
And then proceeded to try to say what he did good tonight.
But for real, like, I mean, I agree. I don't think Omer Year 7 is a good NBA player right now. But I do believe that at times he does good things. And tonight was one of those games where his 13 minutes, he did good things. Like,
Who's the person that call him Turkish Andre Drummond? That's basically what I see. So yeah, all right, yeah, that's what I see.
I've pivoted from Turkish Andre Drummond. I think that might be a little bit too much credit. We are now trending in the direction of Ennis Freedom.
First of all, Gad, it was Turk Nowitzki in Summer League. That's who he was. How did we get from
Hey,
Turk?
the idea is still alive.
Okay.
It's still alive, okay? I'm not saying it's dead. I'm just saying it's not there right now.
Okay.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Right now, we're trending in the direction of performing at the CPAC conference in July. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
More of a closet full of mega.
I guess we should have went to Kyle Lowry. It is Black History Month.
Wait, can I want to say something about? I did have something positive on Yurt though.
Go ahead.
I think defensively, this is one of the first times like I've actually seen him be able to execute a defensive coverage. Like for better or for worse, the drop coverage has been kind of a disaster at times this year. But they kind of found something where he drops, but then if they ever get the ball to the corner, he blitzes really quick. Like there's no thinking about it at all, and they double in the corner. Seeing that little adjustment is kind of cool. I don't know if that's like Spo thinks that works with Omer. They just want to trap the corners in general. But
it wasn't a mistake.
it might have been, honestly.
But
it did look good. Like I think one of the reasons why you can't really put like a stat on it because he had like 6 points and like 2 or 3 rebounds tonight. Like he didn't have a great stat line.
Yer had 7 and 2. He had 7 and 2.
But he actually, it felt like he was able to anchor a lineup defensively, which we have not seen very often. So you don't need him to be a good defender. You just need him to be present and not jumping at every single fake and every single pick and roll. So I like the way that he played defensively tonight. That is an improvement in and of itself.
Yurt was the center on the bench unit that made the run in the game.
Yeah, bro. Like they was getting to the paint to open the game. Like they was legit getting to the paint, but when Yurt came in, that's when it stopped. So it was like, shit, I agree. His defense was very, very good tonight.
Check his RPM after tonight. He might be top 15. He might be top 15. Hey, I'm telling you.
All time. Not just in the league today. All time, my boy. But no, let's get to Kyle Lowry a little bit, Kendall. The man, I don't know. He could just play basketball. I think that's what I like most about our point guard duo of Kyle and Gabe. Like there was a possession where Kyle Lowry got Tyler Hero a shot without touching the ball at all. Like he stood there. Bam had the ball at the top, and Kyle Lowry was telling everybody, wait. And then he brought the screen, and then he set like a secondary screen. Tyler got this little flare jump shot off at the wing. It's just he's good at the game, bro. Tell me what you saw from Kyle Lowry tonight that you liked.
I saw Kyle Lowry be aggressive as a scorer, which is something, I kind of want to see going down the stretch because I feel like you don't just only got to get people like Jimmy and Bam going by getting them in their spots and then getting them the ball, but you can be aggressive as a scorer and then the game will get easier for them. I definitely like that. And that, that was another thing I called out on Clutch Corner. So it's like, salute to that boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Kyle be aggressive as a scorer because, 8 assists for Kyle. It's like, yeah, you get 8 assists, but it was like he was getting 8 assists off of like beating his head against like a wall, trying to get people like the ball in their spots to score. And it's just like, I feel like Kyle Lowry, I said on Wednesday, he's not good enough as a player to turn it on and off. But I think he's good enough as a player where you can get 8 assists, bro, like by being aggressive as a scorer. Like that shit will just come naturally. Like I think Kyle Lowry is that good of a scorer, like to be able to get those like 8 to 10 assists a game. So it's like to see him get like, aggressive and try to put the ball in the hoop is what I've been asking for because it's like I can't just sit here like we all complain about Bam's aggressiveness, but it's like, Kyle, if you be aggressive as a scorer as well, like it might be easier for him to play off of you. And the boy was doing that. And then he also got to the free throw line. Like I think it was like 8 or 9, Gab mentioned. I mean, he probably has had like 3 to 4 games with probably more than 7 free throws. Like, I'm pretty sure he hasn't got that many free throws a game. And I mean, Kyle, he's a veteran, so he knows how to do stupid shit. Like, well, smart shit to make the other team do stupid shit when we in the bonus. Like what he did when he set a screen and he just had Emmanuel quickly just run into him, and he got 2 free throws off of that. I mean, Julius Randle got clamped by somebody. I don't remember who it was. And he was so upset that when Lowry got the ball on the baseline, he bumped into him and Randall pushed him and he got 2 free throws off of that. It's like, bro, like, because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, be aggressive, you know what I'm saying? He's smart enough, he can get to the line. And, you know, defensively, he was good, you know what I'm saying? That's a given at this point.
For sure. So we got 252 people in here and 44 likes on this video. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports Network if you are not, for all of these post-game shows and more Heat content. We do pre-game shows, post-game shows, all type of shit, bro. Just be out here kicking it. Yeah, talk to me about Kyle Lowry.
Sorry, I was on mute. Kendall talked about a lot of the points that I wholeheartedly agree with, especially like what I kind of was saying earlier with Bam. Like, I'm okay with him deferring to the good players. I don't like when he's deferring to the players that like you aren't going to be trusting in the playoffs. I would like to see Kyle kind of assert himself as the 4th guy in that spot, because it's not a given every single night that he's going to be like the 4th field goal attempt guy. I just, come playoff time, I think you need him to be part of that 4 where it's going to be a 4-headed monster. I don't know how scary the monster is going to be, but you need it to be that way. So you need Kyle to have those moments. And he's having some of those moments. So as long as he's giving you that, I'm cool with it. He's a really good basketball player. I'm happy with Kyle. I just need him to be a little bit more aggressive, like Kendall alluded to.
Like, he stole your point. He stole all your thunder.
I don't need to say anything else. He said it perfectly.
Brian, you got one of them macaroni and cheese and chicken tender TV dinners.
Hey, well, you better chill on my dog.
Tell you.
Is a TV dinner like a Lunchable?
No, it's like the Marie Calendar thing. Like, they just, it's like noodles and paste.
Calorie
He's
counter.
got beef stroganoff waiting for him.
Bro, I ate top ramen. That shit is cheap.
I'm talking about. So talk about Kyle Lowry for me, my boy.
Yeah, no, I thought Kyle Lowry looked really good. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Kyle's been more aggressive as of late. Maybe the numbers don't say that, but it feels like he has been. And it's not just like, I think in recent games, you saw Kyle be aggressive, but it was essentially all threes. But tonight, I felt like Kyle actually, there was a concerted effort to like get to the rim. And there was one possession, I don't remember if it was in the second or the third quarter, where Kyle actually tried taking someone off the dribble and putting up a shot from mid-range. And that's something we haven't seen in a while. So I think for me, it's always been that Kyle can be aggressive offensively. He can be that 3rd or 4th scorer. He just hasn't really done it. He's looked to get other guys involved. And I kind of felt that as we get towards the playoffs, he would start to turn on a little bit. And it's looking like that's what's happening. I think that Kyle is now starting to assert himself as a scorer while still, you know, being the team's best facilitator and still being an excellent defender. But I think that being able to attack the rim, get free throws, maybe some positions break guys down, and score is going to be really, really important. So I really love what I'm seeing from Kyle. And I think that the progression towards being that guy, that 4th guy is going to be apparent in these next few games.
For sure. I think it's going to help with one of the things that we've seen the team struggle with is like late game execution and shit. Like, this was another one of those games like where it looked like it could come down to the buzzer. What's up, Gat?
Oh, no, I just wanted to talk about the late game offense, but like, you go first. I have something that I tried to observe.
Sure. But yeah, like the late game offense kind of like we've been complaining, we've been bitching and moaning about it, how they let teams back in games and just kind of like make the game harder than it has to. So this is kind of a step in the right direction. They kind of did it, but at the end of the day, like they were able to kind of push the lead to the point where it wasn't really like hurting them towards the end of the game. But yeah, what do you want to point out about late game execution?
Yeah, no, starting at the 5-minute mark where I think we were up like 8, it was either like 7 or 8, something like that. It was still, the game was in balance. I just started like counting. Okay, who's initiating the offense? Who's taking the shots? Who's doing all this stuff? Kyle actually was taking the ball up much more than he usually does late game, and they weren't going to Jimmy exclusively. There was about a 2-minute stretch where Jimmy didn't have a touch on offense late game, and I think the Heat scored 5 points over like 3 or 4 possessions in that time span. So maybe they did tweak something. We didn't there wasn't a big enough sample size because it was just we kind of won the game with 2 minutes left in the game, and it was over. We were just kind of trying to kill time. But that did look a little different to me, like that 5-minute to 2-minute mark. From that little 3-minute stretch, it looked like the ball was in Kyle's hands a lot. They were giving it to Tyler. They were running actions with Bam as the screener, and Jimmy was going to be the secondary action guy. So Jimmy was not involved in any of the first actions. I just thought that was interesting. Jimmy did have like 2 of those back downs, post-ups where he just held the ball. But if they do move away from that, they do put the ball in Kyle's hands, I think that's going to put this team in a really good position because I trust him much more to orchestrate the offense the way that it should be and maximize everybody late game.
For sure. Killer, did the late game offense today kind of give you a little bit? Did it make you a little calmer about what you've seen as of lately?
Nope, because it was the New York Knickerbockers. Bing bong, them boys is ass. So that wasn't a true test. I mean, if they would have even made it close late, it would have been because RJ Barrett was having an out of body experience continuously into the fourth quarter, and that wasn't the case. So it was like, it don't make me feel better because the Knicks are ass and I don't respect them. So
I think you're giving us a perfect opportunity to slander the Knicks. We haven't gotten to that. Julius Randle.
I mean,
fucking.
But before
terrible.
we slander the Knicks, I mean, I feel like there's someone else that we should slander. Let's take care of our own first.
Let's get that boy out the way. Brian, I'm gonna let you take off on the man. The man, Duncan. The boy was 0 for 5 tonight. 4 fouls. -10.
Yeah, that shit's horrible. Like at this point, I see fans calling this man Bumpkin Robin shit. Like it's bad. I don't even know how you have 3 fouls in the first quarter. Like that shit's impressive, bro. And I know Gaddard was speaking to this earlier, but this is the problem with specialists. Like if Duncan isn't shooting well, he gives you nothing else on the court, like anything, which is crazy to me. Like I'm kind of smoking to it. Like if Duncan Robinson was an average 3-point shooter, dude wouldn't be in the NBA. Like it's bad.
You will not believe what he's been this year.
True. That's why we're saying it should be the front rotation. Like, listen, at this point, it feels like Duncan is basically living off of his legacy of having 2 really, really good 3-point shooting seasons, and that's it. Like, and some nights he'll go back to being, solid Duncan Robinson. If he's shooting well, he actually plays basketball. But my God, like I don't even know what to say. I mean, I feel like everything has been said about Duncan. We've talked about how horrible he's been all year. So I don't really want to rehash narratives that we've all said 1,000 times over. But this is bad. This is like games that he's had all season. My fucking God, Duncan, he's better basketball. I don't know what to say. Like he played like how many minutes did he play in the third quarter? And then we didn't see him again.
He had a 6-minute stint in the first quarter, or maybe it was like a 4-minute stint. Whatever, it's 4 to 6 minutes in the first quarter, and he had like 8 to 9 minutes in the third quarter, and that was it. 2 stints, that's it.
Yeah, he's Myers Leonard, but worse. That's crazy. It's crazy.
He doesn't use racial slurs on his podcast. Speaking of rehashing old things, how many days until we can trade Duncan Robinson again?
The trade deadline was February 10th. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Something like that, yeah.
So what day is it today?
The 25th.
The 15th. So we got 350 days on the dot. If I had
a lot of fucking days.
Well, we could trade him like
in the summer,
beginning of next year, over the summer too. But there's not like a specific date. But by next trade deadline, maybe he's not going to be here. Man,
I feel like
anything else we can say that's new about Duncan? Like I feel like we already know a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything new that we could slander Duncan. Like it is what it is at this point in the season. Like we just have to live with it. I guess it's how long is Spo going to subject us to it?
That's a good question.
I think tonight was very, very telling. The fact that he stayed in with 2 fouls in the first quarter. It's like Spo was pretty much saying like, bro, I'm trying to help you out, dog. Like And what he did, he got another foul, man. Like, I even felt bad for that boy. He took 2 threes in the third, dog. It was clean look.
Naked.
I was like, bro, make one. We was teetering, so it was probably the Heat fan in me, but it was like, bro, I kind of felt for him. I'm like, yo, like, this bum ass dude ain't doing nothing. I mean, I don't, like y'all said, what can we say? I mean, I can say a lot. I haven't said it in a while. Caleb Martin, go down to Duncan Robinson's locker, ask him for his fucking game check, bro, and stuff his big head ass in a fucking locker, man. And with his game check, buy him the best mic you can for podcasting because he ain't good at shit else, dog. Like, at this point, like, get my dog ready for his second act, man. Like,
Get him on blue
bro
mic.
he didn't play 15 minutes as an NBA starter, dog. Like, he is legit Myers Leonard, like Brian said, fam. It's like
We here. It's about
yeah,
time.
We here, like post up, like do your damn thing. Like,
Can I say one
Man.
thing with Duncan too? Because
he get
we
the best
talk.
cardio in Miami-Dade.
You call that cardio tonight? I don't even know what that is. Like power walking or whatever. Let's little stroll down Madison Square Garden.
Like cardio day on the treadmill. Like,
Like all his steps traveled tonight, he could have barely made it from Madison Square Garden all the way over to fucking Broadway. Like it was that much ground. Like he covered such little ground tonight. It was crazy. But no, with Duncan, like my thing is, like obviously we understand he had that one season, greatest catch and shoot season of all time, right? Crazy, went unreal. Everyone knew he was insane. And then last year, obviously teams start game planning for him, whatever it may be. And he still performed well. He had some bad moments. He had some good moments. But at the end of the day, he played well. This year, like, it is literally just living off of reputation. And then people say, oh, but he's going to provide spacing. Yes, he's doing that in the regular season because the scouting report is not as advanced as it will be in the playoffs.
You
Like,
mean
over a 7, yeah, whatever you want to call it. I don't like to give him pretty nouns and adjectives. But in the playoffs, I'm genuinely worried. Like, if you play him and that shot is not falling instantaneously, I don't know if teams are going to close out on him and guard him and blitz him off the handoffs the way that we have been doing. So whatever value he's adding to Bam, I don't know if that's going to be there. Like, he adds value to Bam and Jimmy right now.
That's what I'm saying. If they're not doing that, that doesn't only affect Duncan Robinson. That affects
That's going to
Jimmy.
hurt the whole
That
offense.
hurts everything. If he's not hitting that shot, bro, it shortens the bench because we have to play Tyler earlier and longer. So it's like, if worst case scenario, if Vic is not what we are hoping that he is, we're fucked.
I want to just say, in terms of Duncan Robinson, like Gab mentioned, like his first year and what he did, fam, you got to throw that shit out the window at this point. Because for me, and I've been past that mark, because how I feel is that the league just didn't respect him. And because the league didn't respect you, like it was like, all right, I'm just vibing out here. But we seeing, as like Gab mentioned, like he up on the scouting report now. Like as the league has begun to respect this man, like shit ain't got difficult. Like he's falling off as the league is gaining more respect for him. So like that's pretty telling.
It damn sure is. And you know who gonna tell it? We gonna tell it. Every time that motherfucker go out there and shoot over 5, we gonna be out here every day.
I'm so worried about him in the playoffs. I'm so worried.
Yeah, you're good.
You know what type of shit I'm gonna call that motherfucker if he cost us a game in the playoffs pulling this shit here? It's gonna be racist. I could just put it out there right now. It's gonna be very, very, very racist.
No such thing.
Yeah, and we're probably going to get kicked off of one of these YouTube channels.
We are the marginalized. We are the held down. we just fighting back at this point.
And everybody who gonna go over there and run and tell Duncanon about us or whatever, fuck y'all too. Like we don't give a fuck.
Duncanon?
Yeah, that's what I call them bitches, but they call themselves the Duncan Hive. Like I don't give a fuck what they call them.
The fact that he got a hive.
Man, listen, bro.
I hope they get stung by a bee.
That shit's sick. That shit's sick. But let's talk about the next game, which was tomorrow. That means we shouldn't have did an hour tonight, but you're welcome. We play the San Antonio Spurs. Brian, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. Didn't the Spurs go to the double overtime tonight? So
yeah, they went crazy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. The Spurs aren't good. Jonathan Murray is great. Outside of that, Yeah, so that's gonna be a double, probably like a double-digit dub. We're good.
Good job. Kendall, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling amazing. The way we came out tonight, you know what I'm saying, after the way we started, it's no reason why we can't catch a team. Oh, yeah, the boy feeling very good. We can't catch a team who, you know what I'm saying, like Brian mentioned, they played double overtime, 157, 153. So that means them boys was up and down. And they got to fly. Well, we got to fly too, but I mean, shit, they probably get in later than us, hopefully. And, you know, we're going to bust their ass. And the next game, that boy, because we didn't mention him, PJ Tucker, the glue,
Whoa.
the real glue, is finna have an MVP performance, 22, 10, 8,
Who
and
they
4.
called the glue? Who did they call the glue?
Oh, somebody was calling Duncan the glue on Wednesday, and they was damn near about to get banned.
Duncan Robinson. They were calling Duncan Robinson the glue.
Yes, bro.
Oh
In
my
our
God.
comments, disrespecting during February, Gad. As an ally, how does that make you feel, my brother?
I feel disrespected.
Exactly. Gad, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling great. The Spurs are just not that good. Like, they're just not a good basketball team. The Heat are a really good basketball team. They didn't play their best basketball tonight. They're going to be home. They should be totally fine. I do expect a really good Jimmy game, for what it's worth. I do expect Jimmy to have a good game, and he should be totally fine. Blow that shit out. No question. We'll be back here tomorrow talking some happy thoughts, throwing flowers and unicorns at everybody.
Exactly, because the Heat are going to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? By 40. Duncan Robinson is going 8 for 9 from the 3-point line tomorrow. You feel
Pop
me?
is no longer the best coach in the NBA.
No, sir. But this is
He's not top 5 right now.
This has been years though.
Yeah, you know, but he get that love off of resume.
Yeah, his grandfathered into the conversation
Yeah.
every time you have it.
Exactly.
But it's like,
Him and Duncan alike.
man, it's if you ask Doc Rivers too. Like, you know what I mean?
No, don't even get me started on Admiral Akbar now. Come on. That man has a track record of underwhelming when it matters. Like, come on now. Why is he a top 15 coach all time?
But 08 though. 08.
2010 blew a 3-2 lead, and then
but
blew
08
another 3-1 lead.
But 08 though.
Another.
But 08.
Like, I feel like that's every conversation with Doc. Like, if he's talking to like Sixers brass, like,
08. Oh shit. That shit made my voice hurt. But yeah.
oh my gosh.
He about to blow that shit out. They are not a great team. So we're gonna kick their ass. Probably beat them by like 20 points. You know, make Heat Nation feel good going into a game against Bulls. But yeah. We'll see y'all tomorrow. So thank you guys in the comments as always for joining us, making the show much more fun than it would have been without you. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, talk about Duncan fucking Robinson as some goddamn glue.
The glue.
The glue.
He
Come
used
on
to eat
now.
glue when he was in elementary school. Yeah, that person who commented, he definitely ate glue.
So, thank you to my guys,
Booger
Gag,
boy.
Kendall, and
Duncan Robinson told me that the red crayon tastes the best.
Duncan Robinson used to have rose art crayons. Boy didn't even have Crayola. Bum ass boy.
No, he would show up with like the 96 pack of crayons, and he wouldn't let you borrow a single one of them.
For hoarding all the colors.
Can I use your crayon sharpener? Eat shit.
Duncan Robinson used to always want to be line leader. Dickhead motherfucker. He got a satellite.
He would never hold the door. He would never hold the door.
He would lead you straight to the cafeteria with that big ass satellite head.
Duncan Robinson was a safety patrol. Fuck you.
He was out there folding the flag right before school, making sure you
Duncan
had
Robinson
the
snitched on every kid in elementary school who used to sell candy for a little. All the black kids who used to sell candy in middle school to make a
That's
little
him,
money.
officer. That's him.
That's it.
Duncan is Randall off of recess.
Duncan Robinson told Michelle Obama to take the hot Cheetos out of vending machines in middle school. And he don't even like talking to Michelle Obama. If you know, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Video royal.
Jimmy buckets, clutch
time. Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down. He goes with it. Adebayo for the